All right, here we go for the tube. Say what up, tube.
What up, tube?
What's going on, tube? All right, and last but certainly not least, as always, for the pod. You ready?
Let's do it.
Ready?
Ready.
All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
Woo! What up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Tuesday. Happy Take Action Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Hernan here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
The insurance bro, James C.S. And as always, we have another fantastic, fun-filled show ready to go for you today. On today's Take Action Tuesday, we have someone who will help you get into the right state of mind to take the action necessary to become as successful as you possibly can. Hang out with us today as we are joined by someone who is a business and life coaching specialist. Today's guest is helping people drop the charade and live authentically. Whether you're looking for one-on-one life coaching, business coaching to help you get to the next level, group coaching to be inspired by like-minded people, or corporate coaching to help your team level up, today's guest is the best there is. Featured in speaking events from SCORE, Rise Up Radio, and North County Women in Networking, please give a warm Business Bros Pod welcome to Barbara Maisonet.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
An awesome introduction. Wow.
right? It's worth the wait, right? It's worth the wait.
It kind of was. That was incredible.
Thank you.
He does it. He's got his movie voice going. He loves it. He loves it.
A little bit of movie voice, a little bit of research on the interwebs, you know.
I noticed
and
that.
boom.
Yeah,
Nice.
you know. I
We're
was
off
like,
and
ooh.
rolling.
You have your website on your Instagram, you know. You have
Make
all
it
the
easy.
everything right there. Yeah, it's awesome.
Make it
Follow
easy
me.
for
Learn
you.
about me. Let's work together.
Yeah, but
right.
before we do that,
Oh, yeah. Before we do that, ladies and gents, I want to remind you guys, 365 pairs of shoes was the goal for the year. We met and exceeded it thanks to all of you. But if you still have any last-minute shoes that you need to donate, new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate some cash, hit James up, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. He's also the insurance guy, so make sure you guys hit him up for all your home, auto, commercial, business, workers' comp, whatever it is you need. Or maybe, just maybe, you want to add insurance into your business. Maybe you have a tax office or a mortgage office. Let us do the heavy lifting for you. But you got to call, figure out how to get it done. 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And today's show sponsor is CasanovafishTacos.com. Look, Super Bowl is coming around the corner.
yeah.
You could be like everybody else and just do hamburgers and hot dogs. Or you can order the Casanova Fish Taco Box. They got only a few that they're setting up for people, but it's fish tacos. Be the life of the party. Be the party that everybody wants to go to. Besides, a Corona goes really good with a fish taco. And some football. All right, CasanovafishTacos.com. Make sure you let them know that the Business Bros sent you so they can add a little extra to your care package.
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready?
All right, Barbara.
Here
Tell
we
me
go.
a little bit about yourself. How did you get into the coaching space?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I started business probably about almost going on 13 years. And I started when nobody heard about coaching. Literally, I would say, I'm starting a life coaching business. And there would be like a deer in headlights look.
What's that?
Absolutely. What is life coaching? I've never heard of that.
I have parents
So-
already. What are you helping me for?
Exactly. They would look at me and just, be polite. But so 13 years ago, I had a friend of mine that just told me about this business, this new industry that's coming, that you get paid to ask questions. And if anybody knows me, I am a pretty deep person, and I really like to get to know people at a deeper level than the surface. And so when she told me, hey, you can get paid to ask questions, I said,
Sign me up.
absolutely. And I went to a training day here in San Diego, and I observed people's lives changing in front of my eyes. I can't explain it, but it was magical to watch the power of questions being asked to this group of people who were training to become coaches. And I sat and watched for 2 hours just the power of transformation. And literally, I signed up right then and there for a year-long coaching program.
Isn't it amazing where some little questions can get you? I mean, just the ability to dig a little bit deeper and to get past that little surface response. I'll give you an example.
Give me an example.
So today I was talking to some students, and I was asking this student, I was like, hey, what is it that you want to do after high school? And she's like, oh, I'm thinking I'm gonna go to like international business and go to college. And I was like, look, don't give me the answer that you give teachers or that you give your parents. What is it that you want to do? She's like, yeah, well, I think that's interesting. I mean, it's international business. I get to learn about business and travel. I go, doesn't really work that way, right? And the thing is, in my course, I have a lot of kids that don't do well academically. That's kind of why they're in this course. So I push a little further, right? Ask another question. Like, you know, I know you're not the greatest student in the world. And if you go to college, the first 2 years of college are just like high school. Do you want to do that again? You know, and just another question and another question. Before long, it's not about the school or anything like that. It becomes something like, you know, well, I want to make sure that my mom is proud of me, or that, you know, that I'm accepted at home with this and that. Like, so many deep feelings come out if you're just willing to ask a little bit of a tough question.
And I saw that, and you're so right. How often do we ask, how are you? But really, you know, a question that would have more of an impact is, you know, what's causing you the most stress right now? Or what is it that you're worried about most? And what is your plan on what to do about it? I mean, that's a very different question than how are you? Because what's the standard answer on how are you?
Good.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
And that's great if you are, but there usually is something going on in our life that causes us to extra think it, overthink it, cause us stress, cause us, you know, drama with family or friends or whatever it is, that if you have that person, like you were to your student, that you took it a step further, who knows where that conversation is going to, you know, tonight she's going to think about something different. She could think about a different way that she can move forward in her life by what? 2 questions that you took?
Yeah, a few extra
3 minutes.
Just the time to care a little bit. I mean, you're talking about life coaching, and I feel there's different coaches at different levels for different people in different times in their lives, right? I mean, there's business coaches, there's, you know, athletic coaches, there's teachers. I mean, all serving a very similar purpose. What is it that separates life coaching from some of these other types of coaching?
Well, I do both life coaching and business coaching. And I would think that one of the ways that separates a good coach, well, I don't want to say it that way, but a coach that is going to help you get results is a coach that is willing to ask you those tough questions. So in life, like I said, for instance, we all grow up with beliefs that we've made up about money or about time or about how relationships are supposed to be or whatever it is. And if you have a life coach that's going to come in and ask you, like, what's the belief that you learned about what you observed about money? Did you learn that you need to come from a place of scarcity? Did you learn that you need, you know, you spend all the money, you never save? Did you learn, oh my gosh, I need to be a saver at all costs, never spend? Like, what did you learn about money? But to have somebody that's taken the time to ask that question, really, like the student, can really offer a profound, like, trajectory change in somebody's life to go, well, now I see why I never have money, because I have a belief about, you know, scarcity, or I'm not good enough to have money.
And sometimes that belief is not really something you were taught. It's something that it's like osmosis, you know, like if you grew up in a household where we don't talk about money,
yes,
you know, it's taboo. You don't ask those sorts of questions. Then you grow up and you're like, well, I don't know anything
about money.
I was never taught anything about money.
Absolutely. A lot of things that I work on with my clients, both life coaching and business coaching clients, is a lot to do with emotions. Like, what did you learn about expressing emotions? Or, for instance, what did you learn about how to do anger? Did you watch, you know, maybe perhaps how anger was represented in your house was a lot of shouting and a lot of screaming and a lot of slamming doors, or a lot of, is that what you learned about anger and that's how you express it? Or did you learn, we don't ever talk about the sad or the angry emotion? And so growing up, you just learned how to, you know, squelch it and never express it. And so when you get into a relationship and you're feeling angry as an adult, because that's a normal reaction, the person that you're in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a spouse, there's a high probability they're going to make you angry at some point, or they're going to make you sad because you didn't, you know, buy them the best Christmas, they didn't, whatever it was, right? Yeah. Or that, what did you learn about how to express emotions, how to, you know, be okay with disappointing somebody if you expressed sadness or anger, or what did you learn from your parents or who you grew up in about the value of all emotions, not just happiness, right? We live in a life where it always seems like everything always has to be happy. You always have to put on happy. Well, life has circumstances that just aren't always happy.
Wait, what are you talking about? If I'm not happy, I just swipe to the next image. That'll make me
Shoot,
happy,
you're
right?
You're right. That's the society that we're growing up in. But is that the reality?
No, absolutely not.
And that's one of the reasons I went into coaching, was because I want to be able to come alongside people and say, hey, what's the reality of going on in your life? And are you ready to make some changes about some beliefs that you have so that you can change the trajectory of your life and or your business?
And that's it's one of those words that kind of gets thrown around a lot, but mindset, right? It's really structuring how your point of view is in anything that you look at, whether it's at a relationship or your finances or your business or whatever it is. It's how you look at them. I grew up in a household where my dad was pretty open as far as, this is the budget. We're broke. This is why we're broke, right? He was pretty open with that. But and he was very influential in helping us. Like, he would say, like, I don't know the answers, but there's this book or there's this thing or, we can get help here. Like, he was very much like, you can learn things. I don't know them all, but you can learn things. And that kind of opened the door for us to at least know that there's another perspective.
Interesting.
And I must have been like 19 years old, and I was working at Wells Fargo Bank, and I was filling these envelopes with money for the Padres, and I was sitting there, and this was their dinner money for like the next 3 days.
Really?
And I was like, I'm filling these envelopes with 3 days worth of money, more than I make in an entire month working at this job.
Wow.
That for me was my paradigm shift. But I had to experience it. You are kind of walking people through something they don't even know. You're going to shift their mindset without them really knowing that that's what you're doing.
That they needed to shift it. I tell people all the time, or I suggest to people all the time, coaching is about bringing in an outside unbiased person that's completely committed to your plan. Is it, we're going to change some things in our life, or are we going to change some things in our business? And completely committed to it, regardless of, whether you're happy or sad or scared, or I'm still committed to it no matter what. But one of the things that I love about coaching is that I am asking the questions for people to become aware about things that they didn't know they needed to know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we don't know. I mean, think about it. For instance, why do all the NBA players have coaches? I mean, if they're already professionals, why do they need coaches?
Yeah, they have to develop.
They have to have. Yeah. Those coaches are serving a purpose. They're serving a purpose for, maybe they're gonna bring in something that NBA player doesn't know about themselves yet, or isn't ready to face, maybe. Or
you don't know what you don't know.
They don't know what they don't know.
That's speaking of of that sort of epiphany, when people come and work with you, do they already know what they want in life? Because I can honestly tell you, when I was 19, 20 years old, I had no clue what I wanted. I wanted to make money, of course, whatever everybody else wants. But what is it that you want that's going to make you happy, that you're going to want to get up for every single day? Like, I know people who are old, I'm talking like 70, 80 years old, and they still don't quite ever realize what it is. They kind of just took life by the day to day, motion, and then they kind of have that regret. Like, when you sit down with a client, are you helping them at least get that part started? Like, let's figure out, who are you? What is it that you want?
So one of the first things I do, I just did it today, and I got a new client who, by the way, is in the age 70 category. So you're never too young or too old to go, you know what, something about my life or business isn't working, or I want to make a change, and I'm ready to become aware of what I don't know that I need to know. I'm going to bring in help. I'm going to bring in somebody that's going to come in and help with that. So, oh my gosh, I just lost the chain. What was your question?
Do you help them get started with the figuring out who they are and what they want?
The first thing I do is we go through a tool or an action step on creating a vision statement for. So if it's a life coaching client, what is your vision for your life? Like, what is your why? And then for business coaches, for business clients, it's, why is it that you're getting up every day? Why is it? What is it your why? How much money do you want to make? How much time do you want to spend every week working? And what are the specific kinds of clients that you're wanting to work with, or product that you want to sell? Who's your market? You have to have it very clear. That's the first part of the statement. And then the second part of the statement is, why are you doing this? Right? Is it because you want to travel around the world? Is it because you want to take a trip a month? Is it because you want to spend more time with your grandbabies or your children? Or what is it that you're doing this for? So yes, to answer your question, you have to get clarity first before you are able to go, okay, well, now I figured out that I'm not going to go into international business, right? Your student, she's going to go start a dog grooming business. Great. I'm glad that we figured this out. So now we have our vision statement. Now let's figure out how to do it.
All right. So I'm kind of walking through this as a client, right?
Okay.
So I've come to some clarity and I figured out this is the path that I want to go on. Next thing that I know I've seen over and over again is what is my spouse, family member, business partner, whatever, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? How do you get your clients to get in a nicer way, get over themselves and put that best foot forward to move in the direction where they just clarify to themselves, this is the vision I want in my life. This is where I want to go. Everything else seems to get in my way and stop me.
Yeah, it does. And we get used to worrying about other people's reactions a lot. We get used to wondering if our choice to help, in a business move or, a change, right? We wonder, is this going to cause sadness or disappointment, or is this going to cause stress because it costs money or whatever it is? And when I get that sort of answer, I always ask them, well, what if you came to the table with your spouse or whoever it is that you're worried about and go, instead of, here's what I'm going to do, ta-da, we're going to do it, go, here is what this program or this coach or this book or whatever it is that you're looking at, here's what I'm going into intentionally planning to learn. A, B, C. I want to become better at this. I'm going to get clarity on this. I'm going to have an action plan for this. And you share that with them. And then you ask them this question. Would you support me on this? Because at that point, let's be honest, most people aren't going to say no, right? Because what kind of person would say no to that question?
It's the way you phrase it.
It's the way you phrase it. Would
Absolutely.
You support me in that? This would be something that would help this, and this, and this. It would help us. It would help me. Would you come on board and support me in this decision?
Isn't it funny? This is a sales technique, right? Let me show you the value that I'm trying to bring to our lives.
Right.
Are you willing to back me up?
Are you willing to back me up? And I get that it's going to cost us this, or the sacrifice is here, but the outcome is going to be this way. Do you think that this sacrifice is worth the outcome? And if you do or don't, I'm still asking, would you support me on making this decision without holding it against me? See, that's a key part. Don't say yes and then just be bitter about it for the next year.
Yeah,
because,
then that's not really being supportive.
It's not being supportive. So and then you can take it further and go, okay, great. You said yes, you would support me. Okay, here's what it looks like to support me.
Now describe the role that you want them to be.
Yes, I would love for you to. Here's what it doesn't look like. Here's the kind of conversations we are going to have around it. And here's the conversations we are not going to have around it. Are you in alignment with that? Are you okay at saying yes to that? Right?
Get it out the way up front.
Get it out of the way, because then you're able to show up to whatever it is that you just decided to do with full confidence that you have the support, but then you also have full confidence to see where the path takes us, right?
I like that. Because, I'll give you the alternate approach, and this is what I tell my students all the time. I have my students journal every day, right? Because I want them to get in the habit of writing down their thoughts. And my biggest thing is I want you to write down your thoughts, because you might have an idea that you think is the greatest idea in the world, and you have all this passion and excitement behind it. You can't even sleep, and you go home and you tell the one person you love the most, and they shut you down, right? And
how often does that happen?
It happens all the time.
All the time.
And I had to come to the realization, because I do that with my wife. My wife does it all the time. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And she's like, no, that's not going to work. I'm like, why did I even say it to you? Why did I even bring it up? But the truth is, the person who cares about you the most also knows you really well, and all they're really trying to do is protect you.
Absolutely.
Right? So it comes from a place of love.
From a place of love, right?
And you might not feel that way, but it's also because of the way you phrased it.
Absolutely.
You came in with a vision that they had zero ability to view, and because they couldn't see the vision that you see, there's no way they were going to participate in the excitement that you have.
Not a chance. Even if you went ahead and did it,
Yes.
So you still could have gone ahead and did it. And at that point, what's the sacrifice? Now you're making a financial sacrifice or a time sacrifice, but you're also making a sacrifice to the relationship, because the chances of them being like, high five, I'm so glad you did exactly what I asked you not to do, right? What are the chances that we're going to be successful?
Yeah.
Even in the program and in the relationship for the year that you're in the program or whatever it is that you sign up for. So really, it's really in how you approach it. As a coach, I come alongside my clients. It's not me telling them you have to, it's me coming alongside and going, have you considered this? What's the mindset that you have around this? What's your beliefs around this? Have you ever considered what is it costing you to continue doing?
At least to open up the conversation,
Yes.
right? At least to have that, there are things that you didn't even think about.
Absolutely.
And again, if you're not asking those type of questions, how are they going to take it to the next level?
That's a good question. How would you answer that? Because that's what I say as a coach. But how would you say that? If you don't have those kind of questions being asked of you, how can you take it to the next level?
Well, we used to intro all our podcasts with an Einstein saying, Ham,
Problems cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them.
oh, Einstein, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, really the way it is. Like, you're stuck in this box. There's you and the problem, and you're only looking at the problem from this one perspective. You're sitting there, it's right there on the wall, you can see the problem clearly, but from the other side, from outside the box, the problem looks completely different.
Absolutely.
And you never are going to get that perspective unless there's somebody there telling you, hey, by the way, if you look at it from this side, like, check, done. And you can stand back and be like, oh my God, that was so easy.
Absolutely.
But you can never see it because you're
In
fixated and stuck in it. Exactly.
It's your stuff. Oh, what is that?
Sorry, I had to get to it. The time is 21 minutes and 19 seconds. We interrupt today's number one podcast in San Diego, regularly scheduled number one podcast in San Diego, for a purely selfish, completely irreverent, sell-out cash grab word from our sponsor. Hernan, what are we selling today?
Fish tacos, ladies and gentlemen. Look, Super Bowl is coming around the corner. Plus, you got a bunch of events coming up. Look, Casanova fishtacos.com is a catering company. They do some of the greatest fish tacos ever. Like, huge, large size tacos. You guys don't know? Check out the fish taco parody on YouTube at Business Bros Pod. You can see the size of these tacos. They're so delicious. I wish I can send you the taste over the airwaves, but we can't do that. But you can try them
Just gonna
yourself.
have to experience for themselves.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try it yourself. Super Bowl Sunday would be nice. Order the Casanova fish box. They'll take care of all the stuff for you, all the fixings, everything. You're squared away. You don't have to do a bunch of cooking. It's super easy. The wife is going to be happy. The kids are going to be happy. Even my son, who doesn't really eat anything that's kind of crazy, eats fish tacos. Liam,
Basically anything that's not hamburgers and chicken nuggets?
yeah, he eats fish tacos. That's how good it is. So make sure you guys check them out, CasanovafishTacos.com. Let them know the Business Bros sent you. They're going to add a little extra into your care package, whether it's a catering event or the Super Bowl Sunday box. Either way, CasanovafishTacos.com. Business Bros.
And now, back to the number one podcast in San Diego, the Business Bros Pod.
See, he likes doing the interruptions.
He is like doing that. He's good at it too.
It's a little thing. It's the little things. I'm over here staying quiet most of the time and then, get to drop the
And then
odd
he gets
nugget.
his piece.
What is that?
What? What is happening?
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
I'm going to drag him into this conversation, though, because
Oh, good.
James is, we would always, not argue, but, debate about different things in business, right? I've always been look, if you just take action, your mindset will follow. Mm-hmm. And he's completely the opposite, of course, because we're brothers, right? Completely the opposite. He's like, no, you got to get your mind right before you can move in the forward direction. I don't think either of us are wrong. I think there are different actions, different mindsets for different people. But he's really been big on creating his vivid vision. And he's been doing a number of different activities. And I want to know, I want you to share the dollar spending one, the one where you spend your money every
Sure.
month, and I want to see what your take is on that. Cool.
Sure, yeah. So the two things, Hernan mentioned the Vivid Vision. This is a 3-year projection. It's right now roughly 5 pages of me just, in 3 years, how old am I? How old are Nan's kids? What's going on in my business? Where do I want it to be? Everything from like the space that I'm in. Am I still in the same office? How many employees do I have? What are their jobs? I mean, breaking it down department and division and, as clearly as possible. And speaking of clarity, I love that we're coming into 2020 because 2020 is the year of clarity.
Oh, I like that. That makes sense. 2020 vision, right?
2020 vision,
Yeah.
the year of clarity.
Clever. Hey.
The other thing that Hernan's talking about is my goal, my financial goal, like overall, is $30,000 a month. I'm not asking for a ton, right? LeBron James, Tom Brady, they make millions.
Soon
right?
you'll be there soon. Right now we're starting out at 30,000.
I'm good with 30,000 a month.
Perfect.
I mean, but the exercise that I do is I have a Excel spreadsheet, and I actually try to spend 30,000 a month, and I will go to websites to find the things that I want to buy, and I'll buy everything that I want to in this imaginary world.
Got it.
And try and spend 30,000 a month. Can't always do it. I mean, sometimes I have to go and like buy Disneyland tickets for like the whole family.
Wow.
And put us up in the Grand California Hotel.
And your podcast guests too, and their kids.
Right?
I didn't know if I missed that. Okay, yeah.
I'll throw them in there too.
Okay.
I mean, why not? 30,000 a month. I got all the that kind of money. Why not? So I mean, it's that visualization is just really important, and I love it because it puts me in that mindset of abundance. Like I can see myself spending this money, and I mean, really, like my wife and I have just had so much fun driving down the road talking about how we would spend $30,000 a month.
Yeah, so I want to know how that parallels with what you're doing and helping people get to the point where they can that's a huge shift. It's shifting that mindset from I'm broke, I don't have enough. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough, whatever it is that you never say that you have enough of, to that other mindset where like, this is where I'm going. I can see it clearly. This is where I'm going to be. Yeah. How does that?
So one of the things as you're talking is to recognize, and this is what I would do with my clients, is that I'm not enough. I don't have enough, or I am not enough. That is a mindset. And so if there was a client that I had, and we all have, it's in the category of something that we've made up about ourselves, usually from childhood, that we witnessed, that we saw something, it didn't happen the way that we wanted it to happen, and so we decided I'm not enough. So it could be just as simple as like you didn't get picked for the dodgeball team in 3rd grade, or it could be as traumatic for a child as dad left us and never came back. So we have a lot of experiences as children that we view from a child's the ability to rational and reason as a child. So we make these things up. I must not be good enough, or I must not be enough because my dad left, or I'm not good enough because I wasn't picked for the dodgeball team. It doesn't really matter what it is. We just make things up. So as we come up through adulthood, those tend to carry with us. And so in order for us to be from where your brother's at to a visionary of where we can get to shifting it, we first have to go, well, what did we decide? What did you decide about yourself at 8 or 9 when you witnessed this, or 6 or 7? What did you decide about yourself? What did you make that mean about yourself? Well, I must not be. I must not be this. I'm not worthy because, I didn't get the new shoes that I wanted for Christmas that one year. I mean, it could be as simple as that. And once I get to that place with my clients, then I can say, well, is it actually a fact? Is that actually what we're going to remember about you? That you are not good enough, or that you are not worthy enough? Is that actually what we're going to say about you, on the day of your passing? No. So it's not a fact. You have the opportunity at this point to change that belief and make it the belief that you want to be moving forward, so that you can you can earn more than that and spend the $30,000 a month. But we can't come from a place of being able to do those things unless you first do some of the work, right? Areas that you don't know, that you didn't know, that you didn't know. These beliefs that we have, right? Because nobody is going to earn $30,000 a month coming from I'm not good enough.
Right.
Those are oxymoronic. They're not going to happen. So we have to do a little bit of work on ourselves to be able to go, I am worthy enough to make $30,000 a month. Now, how am I going to go do that?
Right. It changes from I can't to how can I?
How can I? Because I've changed the belief that I've believed since I was a little kid to something that's actually factual now, that's actually true. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am able to be successful, highly successful. I am not a failure, whatever it is that you want to change it to. And now you can come from a place of that place to go and be like, well, if I am worthy, what choice would I make right now? Would I accept that account? Would I take this? Would I do this? Right? If I'm starting from I am good enough, how would you go and make decisions starting from that place versus I'm not good enough?
Completely different, right?
Life
Night and day.
Night
and day.
Night, absolutely. And so that's kind of the work. That's not kind of, that is the work that a good coach will do, is to help you to shift that, to change that, so you can show up and make $90,000 a month. You know, the dollar amount doesn't matter. It's all in how am I showing up to my business in order to create that and make that.
Yeah, I heard a saying once that says something like, if you won $1 million, you better learn to be a millionaire really quick.
Absolutely.
Or that $1 million is gonna hurt you really bad, right? Because when you have the money, you've only what I tell my students all the time. All you've ever learned is how to spend.
Yeah.
If you've only learned how to spend and they give you more money, it's going to accelerate what you've already been doing.
What are you going to do? You're just going to spend more money.
But if you learn to earn and somebody gives you $1 million, you're going to earn. You're going to learn how to multiply that. So,
and if you come from a place of I am worthy, I am good enough, I'm not going to make whatever happened to me mean something about me, right? That tragedy or that thing I witnessed or whatever it was that just didn't land on me. It really doesn't matter what it was. If I can turn that into, that's not who I am. That's not actually a fact. I am not worthy. I am. Then the dollar amount that we want to make per month is irrelevant because you can make $1, you can make $1 million.
You've already changed internally.
It's already in it's how you show up.
Boom. Ooh, I like that.
Where's
Deep
my
stuff.
boom? Where's my boom?
Boom. I don't think he has that kind of sound effect.
I don't have it. I don't have
You
all
don't have
of
it
that.
ready?
Yeah.
Oh.
But he can boom on the mic.
Boom.
See?
We'll work on it.
All right. We're gonna move into the ask.
There we go.
There you go. That was
I
much
like
better.
That one.
That was more movie voices.
Yeah, that was it.
See? In a world. All right. We're gonna do the
Jet Michael Vincent.
ask the bros section. So think of a question that you want to ask us, personal or business, doesn't matter.
Okay.
And while you think of that, I'm going to remind our audience, 365 pairs of shoes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for all the shoe donations. But if you still have any last-minute donations, hit James up, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. He's also the insurance guy, so if you have any insurance needs, personal, home, auto, life, health, workers' comp, general liability, whatever it is you need, or maybe you want to add insurance into your business, you have a tax office, mortgage office, something like that, let us do the heavy lifting for you. Hit us up, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And it's almost dinner time, and I know I'm feeling some fish tacos. So casanovafishtacos.com is where you want to go. Get your events catered, weddings, birthday parties, just general get-togethers, and take a little snippet, a little taste. Super Bowl Sunday's coming around the corner. Go to casanovafishtacos.com. Let them know the Business Bros sent you. They're going to add a little extra into your packages. Wow.
Yum, yum.
Wow. Boom.
Boom.
Yours is better. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Ask away.
Okay, so it's a two-parter. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
all good.
Went against the rules.
From a life coach,
Oh,
two-part
my
question.
word.
Digging
Two
deep.
parts. Let's do this. Okay, I want you to pick one system in your guys' business, if it's going to be individually or together. I want you to pick a system, like a follow-up system, referral system, onboarding system, whatever it is. Pick one that is not at a 10. So it's between 0 and 10. 10 means like nailed it, not changing anything. I could win a Grammar Oscar for this. 0 being like, I don't even have it.
I'm going to
do
let
you
you answer this one, systems
Pick
guy.
one that's not at a 10.
Retention, definitely.
Okay. So your client retention system is not at a 10 that you would say. What number are you willing
like
to
0.
say? 0.
Yeah.
So what I like to say, and you could swipe the other one up too.
There you go.
There we go. What I'd like to say then is we have room for growth, is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So here's my question. What's your payoff for not moving that number up?
There is no payoff for not
No,
moving
that's
it.
not
Hold
true.
on. Because
That's not true.
If you're getting something.
Oh,
or
yes,
you would
that's
you
true.
you would have already done something to move it up. So payoff means we're getting something. What are you
It's
getting?
opportunity cost. So basically, I'm getting time. The reason why it doesn't exist is because I don't dedicate the extra time when I'm at home or whenever else. I prioritize other things, whether it's business or pleasure.
Okay. And what story do you tell yourself that allows you to continue doing that? Well, I'm going to use my time for this, or I'm going to use my time for this. What's the story that you get to say to yourself?
That it's okay to not work 24/7.
Okay. So the flip to that is what is it costing you in your business to have that system be at a zero?
A lot. I mean,
Such
to
as?
putting it customer loss instead of customer retention. There's a lack of a follow-up process that really I'm working to put the system in place. Like it's an active goal for but it's not in place yet, and I see the numbers not moving in the direction that I want as quickly as I want.
Okay.
I know that if as insurance agents, one of the things that we are able to take advantage of is residual income.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to have residual income, we have to keep the
clients.
customers.
Right.
And if they are not staying on board, then there's no residual income. And our income could grow exponentially if we did a better job of keeping more of our clients on board.
So it's safe to say that it's costing you revenue.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So the revenue that we're trying to make because we're trying to earn the 30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's costing you that. But the payoff is that you get, in your mind, you get to prioritize other things,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to hold on to the time that you have doing what it is that you are prioritizing at the
Sure.
current moment.
Mm-hmm.
While at the same time, it's costing us revenue.
Absolutely.
Correct.
I like that line of questioning because it works the same way with when you ask somebody who's out of shape, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like what are the benefits to being out of shape?
Mm.
And they're like, well, there isn't any, but there is.
Kind of. You get to eat
Yeah.
all the donuts you
You
want.
get to eat everything you
I mean,
want.
come
You get to
on.
sleep in.
You were-
You don't have to go to the
You were
gym.
about to jump into there like there's no benefit. Like,
There's no benefit, but it's because
No.
we're always only looking at the positive. When we say benefit, we're only looking at the positive things that have been told to us,
Yes.
right? So what's the benefit of not working out? Well, there is no benefit. That's because you're only looking at what happens if you do work out.
Uh-huh.
But there's a reason why you don't, right? And that was
You get something.
you
from
get
it.
something
because I
from it.
like to sleep in until 6:30 instead of waking up at 4.
But that's those kind of questionings are the way that you take that mirror and you put it right in front of you and you get to look at it and say, oh man, I can't really lie to myself in this case. I am benefiting something. There's a
Yep.
reason
Absolutely.
why.
We're all benefiting something, or we would have changed it already.
Absolutely.
So if you come to the table with, I wish I, was in shape. Well, like you said, what are you getting to not be in shape? Because if it was really as simple as it is to get in shape, you would have done it already.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So you're getting something from it.
Yep.
Usually it's a story. Usually it's a belief.
I like how you
usually-
put that too. What's the story you tell yourself? That was great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That was a great, yeah.
So digging even deeper into that, is that story 100% true?
No.
Or are you 100% sure that that story is true? What's possible if the opposite story is true?
And the answers to that are
Right?
Fantastic. It's called
questions.
stack journaling. It's something that I picked up this past week, and
But how would
Been
you
a big
answer
one.
those? Because those are great questions.
Yeah,
is
I
that
mean-
story true? Is it really true?
is
we
that
don't
story
have-
true? A little bit. I think there are other factors that are involved. So I mean, part of it is things that I would rather be doing. Like, I'd rather be at home watching Disney Plus than working on this part of the
Absolutely.
business. Or, whatever.
Yep.
Spending time with family, whatever it might be. And also another part of it is, things that I have to do because the other systems that are in place is the agent training. So training the agents is, a big part of the
What
system.
am
that
I
I spend-
focusing my attention on?
Yeah.
Am I onboarding? Am I
Yes.
support?
Underwriting,
Am
yeah.
I,
So
So
it's all the prioritizing.
Do you know, have you ever considered or have you asked yourself, what is it going to take for me to get, what's the fire under my bonnet? That's, well, I was trying to be nice. Your fire under your bum. That would be the motivating factor to do something right now about it, to change right now? What would motivate you? What is the, because a lot of times we have to be incentivized or motivated to do something. So it's obviously, gosh, I really should do it. I'm actually losing money every month. Okay, I know that. But there isn't that spark yet that's been like, okay, enough is enough. This is my incentive to get it done because I'm afraid of, or I'm going to lose this, or what is that for you? What's the motivation behind it? Or have you ever identified this is what's going to motivate me to do one less Disney Plus movie a night?
I'm sitting here trying to think because like I feel like I'm already there. I mean, I have the this past weekend I spent all of Sunday just working. I had Disney Plus on in the background. Nice. But I just had the computer in front of me and I'm just working because I'm honestly I'm already there. Okay. I'm already there. I'm
So maybe we're at a 1 then. I mean, you've already started the process.
Maybe I'm at a 1 instead of a 0. I mean, it's there. I have the 60 days planned, right? I mean, it's on paper, but I don't have like the content or the system in place. It's
not where he wants to be.
Definitely
he's in
not
concept phase.
Yeah. And getting it there is like, and it's tough, you know, with all the other responsibilities that I have in the business. But anyway,
have you ever totaled how much you think you would lose? That might be that might be something to incentivize to do it quicker.
So look at the actual metrics.
Well, I don't know how we would do that yet because I don't know how much you're losing every month. But let's just pretend. Could you estimate like how much money I'm actually losing per month to not have this system at a time?
A roughly good estimate.
Would that?
I mean, we get daily reports on, you know, whatever gain, loss, all that stuff. So we could definitely at least an estimate based on, you know, average commission.
See if that motivates you enough to be like.
That's crazy when we start looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So this was.
Trust me, I'm looking at it.
No, I know.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at this. I see those reports every single day.
Oh yeah.
And
he's there on the day-to-day.
I'm there.
You're there.
I'm there.
You're gonna do it.
Well,
because you're gonna make $30,000 a month here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ladies and gents, that is what you can expect from a life coach. That was just a snippet of what you can expect. You got James talking deep over there.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I love it.
So let me, I want you to look at this camera. Tell people how to get a hold of you. How can they experience this for themselves to improve?
So if you would like to continue moving forward, I always offer a first 1 hour coaching strategy session. And you can go to my website and sign up for that and book that at www.Barbara Maisonet, Barbara, and then Maisonet is MAISONET.com. And you can decide, you know what, it is valuable for me to spend 1 hour on myself or an aspect of my business from a coach. And in that experience, you will, not only will we dive into one specific area, but you will get tangible action steps to start working on right then and there. I'm a big believer in awareness plus accountability plus action equals change, intentional change. And so if you're at a place where you'd like to spend an investment hour into your business or your life, go check me out on my website. You can find me on my Instagram. I just finished 12 days of what would a business coach do for my business videos at Barbara_Maisonet_coaching. And you can find me on Facebook as well under my name, Barbara Maisonet Inc. And that's the best way to get a hold of me. But really, I'm going to challenge you. It's time for you to make intentional action steps in your life or your business. And what is your next best business step or your next best life step? Your next best one that's going to get you closer, right, to what it is that you want.
Or at least identifying what it is you want to start off with. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. This is a good one. I like this.
Thank you for having me, you guys.
I told you all you had to do was be fun. See?
That, I'm telling you, that is what hit. That was what, when I asked, you know, are you taking guests or, you know, how do you guys book guests? He responded by saying, well, are you fun? And I was like, I am. I think I am. I'm going to make it. We can do this. That was it.
We got a winner.
Guys. That was it.
Definitely love that last segment. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely. Got the wheels turning over there.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, that's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
and we're out.
Thanks, Facebook. We love you.
See, you did a wonderful job.
Okay.